fish and loaves. This parable is found in all four Gospels. That's how well known and how important it was thought to be by the Gospel writers. In fact, Mark's Gospel has two versions of the story, two different occasions actually, when Jesus apparently fed thousands of people. In this particular story, he multiplies 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish to feed 5,000 men, 12 baskets left over. In the second story, Jesus feeds 4,000 people with 7 baskets of leftovers. So without getting into the details, the important thing is that Jesus was moved with compassion. When it says he had pity on them, it wasn't kind of a disconnected pity for people's plight. This was a compassion which led him to feed the multitudes. And the word for compassion in the scriptures comes from a Greek word that really refers to the lower parts of your body. This is very interesting. The gut, the digestive system, your bowels, your loins. So when it says that people had compassion, it actually means they felt the people's pain in their very gut. It caused them discomfort and pain to see people who were suffering. So Jesus had this kind of compassion. He shared in their sufferings. It hit him hard that the people were like sheep without a shepherd. So his first instinct is to feel compassion for people by meeting their needs, by healing them, by feeding them, by teaching them about the kind of love that God has for them. You know, when you think about what compassion really is biblically, it's sad that we don't really find that kind of compassion today. Our society and our world seem to have lost a sense of people's suffering and pain. We know there are people within our very communities who are hurting. We see them on the streets, in the hospitals, in the unemployment lines, in social service agencies. Yet, only a handful of people, in my opinion, really seem to feel the kind of compassion and love it takes to get out there and to address the needs of people. It's easy for us and for many people to give money so that other people can do the work. And people can give money without feeling compassion. They may even give begrudgingly. But it takes a special kind of love to actually get out there and do the work of ministering to people's needs, especially those who are hurting. And I have to say, the same thing I think is true for our country. You know, it's becoming more and more common for us to turn a blind eye to the needs of people who are hurting around the world. Whether we're talking about people languishing in prisons around the world because of their religious beliefs, people who are actively being persecuted and killed for political reasons, or people trying to find their way here for safety and security. Increasingly, we are being told that these are problem people and that we can't do very much for them. So what underlies that kind of negative view of humanity is a lack of compassion. Notice in the gospel, when Jesus becomes aware through his disciples that people are tired and hungry, he says to them, do something about it. Yet they can't because they chalk it all up to money. Where are we ever going to get enough money to feed all these people? They lacked compassion. But it is Jesus' compassion for the people that opens up the possibility that God can and will provide. And God does provide because of his Son's compassion. A few loaves and fish are multiplied. That's what compassion can do. But how can we do it if we don't have compassion? So, it's hard to believe that there are those who are not moved to compassion when looking on the faces of hungry or homeless people or people who are hurting. When we come here every morning to receive the Eucharist, we cannot forget we are receiving the body and blood of Christ, who loves us so much that he underwent his own pain, his own suffering and death. With the deepest compassion and love, he laid down his life so that we can live forever. If we really are grateful for what he has done for us, then we must have the same compassion for others' needs. It's never a question of politics or economics when we're confronted with people's needs. It's an issue of compassion, and we should be moved to our very gut by the pain of other people. And that compassion will lead to action